Hi there, Cancer, and welcome back to Feathered Serpent Tarot. I am here in Mexico with your July 2017 reading. I would just want to say thank you for your shares, likes, and subscribes. I always appreciate that, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity to read for you. I'm also going to have some information very soon as I'm setting up all the things I need to set up in order to offer private readings. So if you like my style and you want to get a little bit more detailed and focused on you, that's, I would say, within probably the next 5 days or so, hopefully shorter than that. I'll be able to provide that for you. So I also want to say apologies for the sound on June's videos. Like I said, I'm just kind of getting started up, but I did get this fancy new microphone. So I'm hoping that that improves things for you, the viewer. So why don't I just jump right in? I have pre-shuffled the cards, but I'm going to focus a little bit more as we dig right in. What's happening in July? I hope you're well, Cancer. We just had a new moon, the Sun, Mars, and I believe Mercury in your sign. So it really has been about you. And your first card is Temperance. So there's some patience here and grace going on. So I'm just gonna kick in here. All right. So your obstacle card in front of Temperance is the Ace of Wands. And your foundation is the Queen of Cups, Chalices. And your past, or recent past rather, is the Seven of Cups. And now we have the Two of Wands crowning everything. Death in near future. That's a very common theme right now, folks. Five of Pentacles in the U position. So yeah, probably feeling very emotional right now. And the Six of Pentacles, but you know, there's compassion. Yeah, there's a lot of emotion here. Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right, Cancer. All right, so the Seven of Pentacles would be the surrounding background energies right there. It's a very shiny deck. So there's something that I'm noticing. I'm going to have to figure out a way to give an overhead as well as read, because I'm seeing solitary women throughout. So we've got, for example, the first card, the central focus, which is Temperance. So there's this one. And then we have the Queen of Cups, which could very well be you. And then we have the Five of Pentacles, also as you. So that's just sort of the first thing I'm noticing. I'm also noticing that the obstacle is a solitary woman, Ace of Wands. So you're wanting to get something started, and it will, probably closer to the end of July. But you're probably still processing stuff around stuff that was going on in the last week of June, which is right now when I'm recording this. So I mean, there's definitely a sense of grief. So the Queen of Chalices in the bottom position, this would basically be talking about how emotional you're feeling right now. In the recent past, things were very clouded, confusing, maybe too many choices around different things that it was difficult to be clear. So but you're looking at what you were capable of in the past, and you've got a lot of fire. When you put your mind to something, there's like nothing. You're practically a fire sign when it comes to that. So there's a lot of passion in it. So we have the Death card in your near short-term future. So death is transformation. Death and birth are pretty much linked together, and sometimes it can be instantaneous. Sometimes there's a slight delay, but I'm thinking that this is just the end of something. And of course, the Five of Pentacles, you're going to feel grief is very much a solitary activity. It's not something that we share in the real sense of the word. We may share that we are both in grief, but how we express it is going to be completely unique to the individual. Thankfully, in your environment, there's a lot of compassion. You could be around family and friends. People who you've supported in the past are now coming to you and saying, "Hey, I'm here. If you need me, I'm here." And so, this is lovely, but it doesn't make it any easier. So in the hopes and fears position, we have the Knave of Wands. So this could be you in terms of your passion for getting something started. You may be feeling like, I hope I still have the fire to do this. Why can't I motivate myself? Can I maintain this as I proceed? And, this is kind of the flippy kind of thinking that sometimes we do. Like if something comes to an end and we're grieving that, we're reaching for something else to fill the void. And so we have the Four of Swords, which is rest. So this is the phase that you are in. So if you're struggling with giving yourself permission to actually just take a break from everything, to just tap out for a little bit, time out for me, I'm taking a little time out over here, do it. Because now is the time to do it. Because you're gonna, once you rest, once you absorb the compassion that your friends want to show you to, you know, even if you're only letting one or two of them in at a time, you know, because you are emotional. You know, this is a process. You've got death, you've got grief, emotions. Let it all out. This is it. This is the time to do it. It was like when I recorded my video on the rainy beach the other day, you know, grab the tissues and feel your issues. This is no time to be putting on a brave face. It's time to feel your feelings and trust that you have time to do this before you will inevitably initiate all of these fantastic plans that you have. But you have to go through this part first. And a lot of the times we want to rush through the uncomfortable stuff. We can't. So I'm going to lay some clarifiers down and see what's going on. So yeah, clarifier that I have for your central card over temperance would be the Ten of Wands. So, you know, it's been a heavy load to carry. You know, whatever, you know, the confusion in the past was about, you know, perhaps, you know, cancers are also famous for absorbing the emotions of the people around them, and that can slow you down big time. So let's get a clarifier on the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands. What is it that we're seeing? Yeah, it's like whatever it was that you're looking back on, sort of nostalgically about what you've managed to create in the past. It's like you're gonna find a way to reignite that and bring it into the future. Like that's the way it is. That's what you're doing. So let's see what the Queen of Cups has to say here. Some more insight. The Lovers. So it is possible that there's another water sign involved. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. And possibly a love triangle. I don't know. There's been a lot of that going around. Well, I'm going to come back to that because I want to see what else comes out. And we've got Ace of Wands. So, again, you've got the Ace of Wands in your crowning. And the Ace of Wands in the past. So, you are definitely getting back in touch with yourself or part of yourself that was easily inspired, and your ability to make things happen was no problem. It's like you're feeling kind of stuck. Judgment. Uh-oh. I'm not seeing a lot of swords, so I'm not thinking that this would be you, but maybe you are. Maybe you are judging yourself. Ace of Swords. So if you are doing that, Cancer, don't do that. You could be sort of right on the edge of the spiral of negative thinking. So the best way to get yourself out of that is to just kind of let those thoughts go, but Don't give them the power. And fight a little bit harder to find the truth underneath how you're judging yourself, because it's probably not something that you would do. Normally. Like, you're not, when we're emotional, we're not in our character. Our character kind of gets a little blurry. So over the Death card is Strength. So all of these experiences where you have judged yourself as being less than, it's like this process is to finish that. To completely finish this thought pattern of how you judge yourself. It's going to be so clear. And, compassion also starts with you. All of this is making you stronger. Yeah, see? And, maybe with feeling on the outside, it's giving you that fire to do it. The only thing I would caution about, though, is trying to correct things from the past. You need to be moving forward. So what's in the past is in the past. Let it go. Lean into the friends that are giving you compassion. Because when you're feeling your feelings, you can make all sorts of cool stuff happen. Yeah, because you're tired. You're tired. And you're tired of defending even yourself to yourself. So let's get some clarity on the Knave of Wands. Okay, so maybe there's a fire sign that you have your eye on. Maybe a fire sign has their eye on you. And the Page of Wands shows up over the Four of Swords. All right, so hopes and fears. So maybe messages of love, being open to love with a fire sign. And then the Page of Wands. So it's kind of like this. Did it work out? Yeah, like so. So we've got two pages of Wands, rest, and an offer of love. So appears as though you're going to possibly take a time out with a fire sign. And perhaps that's what's going to, help you get to that place again where it's like you've pushed stuff into the past. And now you have someone who is helping you recuperate by adding a little bit of fire to things. Coaxing you out of a place of self-judgment, bringing you into the truth of how phenomenally strong you really are. Cancers are tough, really tough, so hardworking. So you may be temporarily not working quite as much right now. You could be changing jobs, which can be very stressful too. So what ended up on the bottom is the Emperor. So it could be an Aries that's around you. And it could also just be you coming into your own authority around what you want in your career. What you need from your community, from your friends, from your family, and from a partner. But I'm getting a sense of timeout, that there's a kind of timeout happening. Another card, because on the bottom we've got you being emotional, and then we've got the Lovers, and we've got possible water sign, possible fire sign. So what's going on? I want another card on 2 cards. So where did we have the 2 of Wands? Right, okay. So if there is a third-party situation, there may be an air sign somewhere in there. And now I have the Empress. So with the Emperor, how's that for fun? Okay. So, and then we got the Page of Pentacles underneath. So, I don't know. I'm thinking that maybe what's going on. Maybe there's someone in the past who was an air sign who was kind of on the fringes of your relationship with a fire sign. But, I mean, the Emperor and the Empress are the top couple, the top power couple of the tarot. So for whatever that's worth, that's kind of interesting. I hope this resonates with someone, because it definitely is going in a lot of different directions. And I'm thinking that because of all of this activity in Cancer, it's like you could barely take it in terms of everything that's coming at you all at once right now. So I think I'm going to leave that part of the reading for as it is. And I got a new deck that is a whole lot of fun. So I'm just going to pull one card from it. It is called the Oracle of E, and it's fantastic. Look at this is sparklers. It's just the coolest thing ever. I love this deck. Now, I've just started using it, so I will read from the book until I've learned them all. But, you know, if you haven't seen these cards yet, they pretty much speak for themselves. They don't really need a whole lot of interpretation. So, for Cancer, for July 2017, there's your card. Well, look at that. Magnanimous Me. Card number 27. Because, you know, Cancers are awesome. So, I'm going to... Wonderfully magnanimous folk. 27. All right. This is the time for your true nature to bloom like a crocus in the spring. Look at that. You are nothing but a big ball of love, and the only thing you really want is to love up on everyone. This is a good time to get in touch with that higher truth and free your generous spirit. Kindness, anyone? I'd say that's pretty cool. So feel your feelings, Cancer. It's okay. You've got people in your environment where you can put your head on their shoulder. I'm sure there's so many people who would line up at the opportunity to pay you back for the times when you've been awesome. So I'm going to leave you with that, and have a wonderful July. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you again.